And I'm here with your weekly inspiration. I've been talking a lot about grief the past few weeks because there's been a lot of death and loss and grieving to do in my life. And it seems like it's been the case for a lot of people in my community. So my heart goes out to you if you're in the same boat. And I just wanted to do a quickie this week in honor of the fact that I am in a time of grief and loss. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that it's really important when you're going through a lot of loss to really allow yourself to be less busy. It's a fallow time. It's a time to be more restful. Transitions are potent times. They require a lot of focus and a lot of presence so that we can navigate them with grace. And so it's really important to allow ourselves to say no to things that don't really feel like they're supportive, and to give ourselves more rest. And one thing that I've found that's been really, really helpful is to do a clearing out on all different levels. And so what I've been doing is looking at certain parts of my life, not just in my emotional or spiritual realms, but really actually more in the physical realms, looking at sacred objects that I have and seeing if they still belong to me, seeing if it's time for them to move on as well. A time of the big giveaway, a big clearing away. And so I've been preparing to give away some really big medicine items that have blessed my life and meant quite a bit to me. And it actually feels really good to have a conscious giving away. It's doing a lot of things, I'm realizing. First of all, it's honoring this time of letting go, and it's going with that flow. We tend to want to contract around things that are painful and difficult, and loss is, that the main painful, difficult thing we experience on whatever level. We can tend to contract and try to resist it, but if we can really sink into what's happening and honor this time of clearing and giving away, and actually support that by releasing and letting go, then we help that flow, because the universe is clearing us out for something. And so it's good to help out and make space for it so that we can maybe consciously choose some of the things that are leaving our lives, and it can be a joyous, generous giving rather than a sense of something being taken from us. And it can also help us to recognize the full cycle of life. And that when we do it consciously as a gift, letting something go to feed something beyond ourselves, what a blessing it can be. So, and also I just did a big cleaning out of my space. And that's important when you have an experience of great grief and loss. Sometimes we want to hold on to things. We want to leave objects or things that remind us of a person or a time in our lives. And it's good to have that honoring, but it's also really important to know when it's time to clear that away, because it holds a very powerful energy. And if we don't want to stay stuck in that place of loss, then it's really important to let it go, send it on its way. So I've been doing a lot of clearing out, kind of reorganizing, and it's a way of kind of clearing the slate and allowing me to kind of consciously have a new life. Not just focusing on the loss, but like, I've cleaned out my closet, I've reorganized everything, I've given some things away, I've created new space, so like a conscious container for receiving what's next. And then on the physical level, I'm doing some research on a personal cleanse. So it helps us, when we have a really intense emotional experience, unless we're eating, I eat a pretty clean, organic, whole foods kind of diet anyway, but even then, it's really good to support the physical body, which is also connected with the emotional body, and especially through the digestive system, to help clear all that stuff out and to go on a cleanse. And spiritually, in my lineage, fasting during a time of asking for support is really potent as well. So it kind of, I think there's no randomness to that practice. So it feels good to kind of be doing this conscious letting go and emptying out in my body as well. It will, on the other side of it, be very rejuvenating. And again, it's this starting over, this recognizing of a coming to completion and this opportunity for new growth. And so that's the last point that I wanted to make, is that once we recognize there is loss or death happening in our lives, if we can continue to move with that momentum and support that release and letting go in our mental body through the practices that I've shared already in past videos, go check them out. Through clearing out our spaces, through the big generous giveaways of things that maybe we don't need anymore. That creates a connection, by the way, when we give something really awesome to somebody that we love. It's really important to honor that clearing away, and then to recognize that again, the universe tends to work in a balance, and so it clears something away to make room for something new. And I talked last week about how important it is to make sure that what we fill that emptiness up with is something really beneficial. And while we are in the emptiness and in that grieving, to recognize that there's something that's going to be birthed. And so to give yourself that sense of hope and anticipation, and also keeping your eyes and ears out for what is that new thing that's going to be birthed. If you aren't tuned in through a meditative or a practice that gives you this insight as to what might be coming up, maybe you want to start that. But this is a great time to start with a clean slate. If there's a new habit you want to start of exercise or meditation, or maybe some having more friendships in your life, this is a great time to kind of start anew. Old stuff is clearing away, and the new is about to begin. And one thing that I've noticed in my clearing away, in kind of letting go of the grief and being in the process of clearing away, I've been kind of cloudy-headed. I've been tired. I'm more restful and not trying to do so much. And so I'm feeling like after this cleanse, I'm going to have more clarity. There's going to be more, my life's going to be a bit more simple. I'm consciously clearing away activities and physical objects from my space, and clearing away emotionally, physically, mentally. Again, it's so helpful. So maybe doing all of that might feel overwhelming. So I encourage you to pick one thing that would feel really good, either a physical cleanse, especially if you're feeling really tired like I have been lately, or if when you come home to your space, your sanctuary, wherever it is you come to rest and relax and renew, if it's feeling heavy, if you find yourself avoiding it, if it feels like every time you come to this certain place, old emotions are brought up, that's a great sign that it's a good idea to do a cleaning, reorganizing, and you can make artwork out of those old photos, those old cards. You can make an altar. So it's not about getting rid of and totally throwing those things away, but clearing them out and giving them a special place for them to exist, so that the rest of your space is clear and open, ready to receive. And maybe next time I'll talk about creating sacred altars with those old objects. We'll see. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. And again, if you're in the middle of a lot of grief and loss, my heart goes out to you. And if you've benefited from what you've seen here, you might want to check out my website if you aren't already on my website now. Tell your friends, sign up for my weekly inspirations. They get delivered directly to your inbox. There's never any charge for that, and I put in special tips and information on the newsletters that don't get posted anywhere else. So enjoy, spread the word, share, and blessings on your journey.